Kiyosaki up, you'll find out some really good information, which I found out quite amazing that Donald Trump also has an MLM company. So look, these guys are right up there in the world, and they're saying that get into an MLM company. You can share this with your friends. Try to get them to see that they should come and join Sisel and help Tom with his global revolution of changing the world. So a big thank you to Tom Mao and the Mao family, and to you too, Dr. Kurt, for all you're doing for us. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Peter. I sure appreciate your testimonial, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future when you get younger. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you too. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. So what I'd like to do now, Carolyn from up in the UK, I don't know which number or which phone is yours. If you could unmute yourself, just hit *6. Carolyn from up in the UK, if you could do that for me. There you are. And thanks for jumping on the call. And again, I don't even know what kind of a testimonial you have, but I saw that you were sharing on Facebook, and I thought, I'll get you on the call. So welcome, Carolyn.
Oh, good evening, Kurt. Hi, everyone. Right, well, I first discovered Sisel a little bit earlier than this last year. I actually became a customer buying the skincare because I was getting very unhappy with all the wrinkles and bags that were forming. And obviously from doing that, I was part of the company, and I was listening to Tom's incredible talks on the new product he was bringing out. And I was just totally immersed in the science. Desperately waited for it to come to the UK, which was towards the end of August last year. And I bought it not only for myself, but my partner as well. And I said, you know, like, we're going to give this a try for a month. To be honest, I wasn't expecting anything overly amazing because I've tried different things in the past and nothing has really, you know, cut the cloth. I will point out that we both regarded ourselves as being relatively healthy for our age. Tony, he used to run marathons and, you know, quite often was doing park runs and things like that. He did have a bit of a panic early last year. His cholesterol levels were up. As I say, I regarded myself as being fit and healthy, so I wasn't really expecting anything amazing. But all I can say, within 2 days of taking it, wow, I could really feel the difference. I just didn't realise how sluggish my body had become. I suddenly got this energy, and, you know, not like a caffeine boost energy where you then crash a couple of hours later. It just went on and on and on all day long. When I used to go up in the morning, I was one of these people, it would take a good 2 hours, you know, for my head to catch up with my body and feel as if I was awake and able to function. But in the mornings, I was just bright, alert, immediately. It was just instant wake up, fully awake. I was no longer dozing off at 6, 7 o'clock on the sofa watching telly. So that was also, you know, really good. But then after a couple of weeks, I started noticing things going on with my skin. You know, I've been really pleased with the skincare and the improvements that was making on my face. But I was looking at my hands, and I have always had, from about the age of 30, old-looking hands. I hated my hands. And I'm like looking at them and I'm thinking, they're changing. They're looking smoother. Have you seen my photos of my hands?
You know, I did. Now that you said that, I've seen your pictures on Facebook.
My God, I cannot believe my hands are my hands. They are so dramatically different, you know, in a few months. They're incredible. I also used to suffer with thin skin on my forearms. And, you know, if I caught a door handle or I was out in the garden and I brushed against a bush or anything, I'd have really bad sort of blood bruising under the skin, and the skin would even rip. I don't get any of that anymore. That's all gone. So, you know, those things alone were like really pluses. But then I noticed that my eyelashes are back long and thick like they were when I was in my 20s, which for any woman is a real big bonus. Everybody wants lovely eyelashes. One thing I'm not impressed about is I've had to start plucking my eyebrows again, which I hadn't done for about 10 years. So, you know, it's growing hair, but some places you just don't want it to grow. But even the hair on my head, that has got such an incredible growth rate. I highlight my hair. I had it done at New Year. So we're now 10 weeks and I've got 2-inch root growth. So it could be expensive.
Wow. So what an incredible story. So, I mean, and when you mentioned that your hands, I saw your pictures, you had like 6 before and after pictures as your hands progressed. And so you're saying that now your hair is growing back rather quickly. So you're like, since the beginning of the year, you can see a lot of the changes in the roots, the colors and all that. Wow.
Yes. Other changes. Since starting on the age pill, I have lost about 10 pounds in weight. I haven't in any way changed my diet whatsoever. Haven't changed my lifestyle. You know, I'm still pretty much couch potato, but I have lost 10 pounds in weight. But even though I'm no longer losing weight, my body is still changing. Everything is tightening up. And the muscle tone, you know, I've got much more muscle definition on my stomach, my shoulders, you know, tops of my arms, you know, my chest area is really nice and smooth. It is just incredible. Just, you know,
wow.
How
you gotta hate that, huh?
Oh my God, you know, like I honestly feel as if I'm about 30. I've just got so much life and energy, and everything is looking an awful lot better, you know. So all of that is all, you know, it's all amazing. Tony, I've noticed amazing changes in him as well. Within about 4 weeks, he had a really bad eczema patch on the back of his leg, and he tried different creams and things. It just wasn't going. But in about 4 weeks, it completely healed and cleared. And we're like 6 months on now, and it hasn't come back at all. He used to suffer really badly with migraines. I'm talking about he'd be in bed at least 1, possibly 2 days a week. You know, and he was being sick, he couldn't see, he had problems walking. He hasn't had a migraine headache since he started taking the H pill. So that is a mega big plus for him, because, you know, that was something that was really affecting his life. You know, if we planned to go anywhere, there was always the worry about, oh, what if he has a migraine? You know, which we just haven't got any longer. He just hasn't had any. So he's noticing differences as well. His hair is a much brighter colour. It's, you know, really vibrant, really shiny. His receding hairline is growing back very slowly, but there are all new little hairs all coming forward. So that's quite exciting to watch as well. So, oh, and my cat, I must tell you about my cat, because I was amazed at this. He was a bit grumpy one night. I got up in the morning and he had got tears running down his face. He was blowing horrible green bubbles out of his nose, coughing and spluttering. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be really, you know, nasty. I was expecting, you know, really, really bad, horrible infection. And I couldn't get him to the vet that day because I had to go to work. And I'm like, what can I give him? So I literally opened an age pill up and gave him half in a syringe, which I put down the back of his throat. And I repeated it again that evening. He wasn't too happy about it. And the next morning, I got up. He was still a bit snuffly, still sort of coughing a bit, but the tear stains down the face had all completely gone. So I repeated it the second day and again the third day, and he was fine.
Gone.
So
Everything was gone.
Everything was gone. He was all back to normal. And I mean, obviously it was an infection because I could tell from the colour of the mucus coming out of his nose, it was an infection, but it just healed amazing. So
Wow. Well,
I've also
Carol,
had a very...
thanks for sharing that. That's so important to know because, you know, I mean, I think a lot of times people are afraid to give products for humans to their animals. But in the case of the age pill, all the science on it shows that glycation and lipofuscin, the same thing that damaged the stem cells in us, in humans, it damages it in every single animal, not just mammals, but reptiles and every type of animal on the planet. And so when you talk about giving it to your cat, I mean, holy cow, what a great testimonial. And I know I give it to my black lab, my 8-year-old black lab, and we've got other people on the call that do the same thing. So, wow, what a great testimonial. Thanks.
Yeah, so, you know, he was relieved from a really nasty infection very, very quickly. Obviously, it saved an absolute fortune in veterinary costs, you know, because they don't come cheap. And it was a really, really good result.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing with us, Carolyn, and I hope to get you back on the call. And we do this every Friday, so if you want to jump on our calls every Friday, you've got the call number and all that, and we sure welcome you and any one of your guests from the UK and around the world too.
Okay, lovely. Well, it's been really nice chatting to you, and it's been amazing hearing everyone's testimonials. I think it's absolutely fabulous. And it's, you know, I didn't think that I needed it, but it has made a difference. So, and you know, anybody should give it a try because it is going to make a difference in some way. You know, they may not even realise that they need it. I didn't, but I'm certainly not giving it up now.
All right. Well, thank you. That's what I'm hearing from everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to getting you on the call again. And as you get better and better, and get younger and younger, we'll have you share your story again. Thank you.
Well, hopefully I'll have Tony's cholesterol results soon, so that could be a good one.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, let's go back down to Australia. We're going to go out to Christine, and again, Christine, I don't know your number here on the call screen. So if you could hit *6 and unmute yourself, if you could hit *6 and unmute yourself, I'll know which line is yours then. Christine Robig from down in Australia. There you are. Well, Christine, welcome to the call. It was sure nice to meet you when I was down in Australia a little over a month ago, and welcome to the call.
G'day, Dr. Kurt. Thank you so much. I'm so privileged and I feel really honoured. Thank you, and thank you for coming to Aussie because it was an absolute pleasure to have you, and we'd like to see more of you as well.
I'll be back.
Good, good. And good morning to Katie and the wonderful Trevor too. Thank you both as well. And all the other sizzlers, good morning. And Kurt, the I have is pretty amazing actually. It's like I've always been pretty fit and healthy all my life, being a gym junkie, being at the gym nearly every day of my life, but I've had a lot of back injuries, you know, from horse riding and goodness only knows what, and car accidents. But I've been on the age pill probably for the last, I think it's about a month now, and it's just been incredible. My doctor, I went and saw my naturopath. I see him twice a year. And he said to me 6 months ago, he said, you might have to take, it's a synthetic drug, because I won't take any pharmaceuticals. I've never been on anything in my life, so I've been very blessed. But he said, your thyroid is a bit underactive. And I sort of looked at him, I thought, no way. And he said, oh, look, it's a synthetic drug, but it's okay, you know, it'll work well with your body. So he said, go and see your doctor about it and see if you can get this medication. I thought, all medication's on no with me. So I made an appointment anyway because I was getting up about 5 o'clock in the morning, which I normally do every morning, and I'm ready to go back to bed at 11 o'clock because I was just so tired. And getting over a fractured foot as well, I haven't been able to walk and do my 4K every morning because since May of last year, so I really felt as though I've been locked up in a cage. Anyway, I went and saw the doctor, had the blood test, and he also wanted me to have an x-ray on my heart. And I don't do these things. I don't do doctors. So I went and had this done, and I took the results back to my naturopath, which I saw just the other day. And he sat there and he looked at me and he says, what have you been doing? And I said, he actually put me on Sisel. It would have been 6 months ago. I'm on maternity. Put me on maternity and balance D because he believes in Tom. And I've been taking Tom's products for the last 20 years. And he said, Tom researches the research. And he said, get maternity and balance D. When he looked at my results the other day, he said to me, your thyroid is back to normal. He said, what have you been doing? And I said, I've taken the age pill. It's about a month I've been on it now for. Plus, I am taking the Body Shield. And he said, that is amazing. I took my little bottle along and showed him, and he just was gobsmacked. So I was beaming. I just could not hold back the smiles. Anyway, I went to my doctor the other day for the results of my heart because they thought I had calcium buildup. And I thought, this is rot. I have been a gym junkie all my life. There's no way, and I scrutinise everything I eat. And my results were, and I just faxed them off to my naturopath yesterday, everything was 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. So no calcium buildup.
So all the calcium deposits are gone?
They weren't even there.
Wow.
I don't think they were there because they start to panic because of my foot. I went to physio, and all the young people there, you know, that, what do you call them, the physio guys.
The physical therapist?
Yeah, yes. And he took my blood test and my blood pressure, and he said to me, oh, your blood pressure is pretty high. That's hypersensitivity, is it? And he said, it's 140/80. And he said, that's pretty high. And I thought, gee, I am getting worried now. And they put the fear of God into you. And that's when he said to me, you better go and see your doctor about your heart. You might have calcium buildup. So no, everything was 0, 0, 0. My naturopath said to me, I would be surprised if you're anything over 50. Well, when he says it, he's going to say, wow, you go, girl. And my eyesight has improved, Kurt. I can watch the, you know how you bring up the titles of the movies and read about what it's about? I can actually read that now. I couldn't before. It was a blur. So it's pretty amazing.
All right.
And I've got,
well, what a fantastic story.
It is, and all my energy levels are back. I'm so excited. And I look in the mirror now every morning. I used to look in the mirror and say, hello, beautiful, but now I look and say, hello, gorgeous.
I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for sharing that, and let's get you back on the call in a month or so and have you share your story again. See how things continue to change.
Definitely, and thank you so much, Dr. Kurt, for having me on, and thank you so much for your visit to Australia. We loved having you with us. Well, thank you, and thanks for having me, and you know I'll be back. I'm
I'm already trying to find a dog sitter to watch my puppy while I go down there.
Oh, fantastic. That is great. We've got lots to look forward to.
All right. Well, thank you, and I appreciate it. And you have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you as well. Uru for now.
All right. Thank you. Bye now. Well, wow, what another fantastic testimonial. So let's see if Monica was able to make it on. I know, Monica, you're cruising down Route 66 down in southwestern America. Were you able to get on the call tonight? If you want to *6 and get yourself unmuted. Monica? She might not have been able to get on. I know I was going to try and get her on the call tonight to share with us, but she may not have been able to get on. So I'm gonna end the testimonial call here by going out to Andrea up in Michigan. Andrea, if you'd like to get on the call, and I'm going to unmute you here. And I know you've had some amazing changes over the course of the last few months as well. You're unmuted if you'd want to share your story.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, you know, I have a video out there on YouTube that pretty much tells everyone what I've experienced over the course of 7 months. But for me, it was my skin was the first reaction I had to this age pill, and it actually happened within a week that I noticed a difference, but it just continues to improve. If I'm sitting at home and talking to someone on my cell phone, I continue to be amazed at my hands and how young they look, just like that other young woman who was talking about. And just generally my skin overall has improved. The other thing that I noticed from when I started taking it in August to December, one day I looked at the veins on the back of my hands, and they were about half as puffed up as they normally were. And so I took a little picture of that, and I put it on Facebook and shared it. And I actually had one friend from Canada go, "Oh, what are you showing us, your puffy veins?" And I said, "No, actually I'm showing you that they're half as puffy as they used to be." And then recently, about 3 weeks ago or so, a younger friend of mine was saying she was going to a vein clinic, and I said, "Oh, you know," I contacted her and I said, "You might want to consider doing this for 2 months because people are getting fantastic results with their veins." And I happened to look down at my hand, and I put it in the same position I had taken the previous photo, and my veins are completely flat now. Like, it's back to like having a hand that you had when you were in your, I don't know, maybe 30s. And I'm 63, so that was great. The other thing that occurred for me, on the 8th day I noticed this, of taking the H pill, double dose. I had a horrible time remembering numbers to like transfer them. Like if you were to get on this conference call, you have to put in a 6-digit code, right? I could never remember 6 digits to get on the call without writing it down. And on the 8th day, I happened to be setting up some pay system in my phone, and I had to transpose 8 digits somewhere. And I just read them, went over and did it, and my jaw dropped just like that. I couldn't believe that I could remember 8 numbers in a row. And I happened to be with my daughter, and I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. And yeah, just different things. As I've gone through these last few months, I've recognized that, oh, I wasn't able to do that previously mentally. And so that's been probably like one of the best things that's happened to me, is that the glycation is getting removed from my brain, and it's all those connections are going on up there that should be going on. And I had like lower leg pain, which I assume was neuropathy. It was like a nerve pain. And after 4 months, I no longer have that. I had nerve pain around my ankle bone that bothered me like every day, every night, and that's pretty much gone. And I'm the one with the noticed my stretch marks one night when I was getting ready for bed, looked in the mirror and went, what? Because I had pretty predominant stretch marks from childbirth, and I could hardly see them. And I'm like, wait, and I kept looking in the mirror at my stomach going, what? You know, and like, I noticed when I backed off like 4 or 5 feet from the mirror, I couldn't even tell I had stretch marks. So I might be sporting a bikini this summer. I don't know.
There you go. Well, you know, I know, Andrea, you're heading down to California. You're heading down to Palm Springs here in a short while, right?
I am. I can't wait to go.
And you're going down there to visit your daughter?
That's correct.
You know, I saw that picture on Facebook, and everybody, I need to say this. When I looked at the picture, I had to look twice because I couldn't tell which one was the mother and which one was the daughter.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It is so fantastic, you know, and as you listen to these stories and you listen to the testimonials, you hear what everybody's noticing and how they're feeling younger and they're looking younger and they're getting rid of all these different things, and you start thinking, holy cow, I wonder if that would work for me. I wonder if that would work for my friend. I wonder, you know, and all of a sudden you find yourself sharing it, you know, and Peter, you know, down there, he gave his testimonials just a little bit ago, and I know when I was down in Australia, Sandy and Paul were telling me that Peter would just, people would ask, what are you doing? And he would just tell everybody, you know, I'm taking the age pill, and that's what you find yourself doing, is that I mean, don't you, Andrea? You find yourself just telling everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy. I had a couple of friends that I graduated high school with recently order the age pill, and I'm like, yes, they're going to grow young with me.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole key to the whole thing. I take care of some older folks. I've got a patient who's 98 years old, and I asked him, you know, one time a couple of years ago when he was like 96, I said, you know, what's the worst thing about getting old? And he said, all your friends die. And I thought about that, and I thought, I need to find a group of friends like all of you, every single one of you that's on the call tonight. Think about it. We're going to be hanging out together for a long time, and we're thinking the same thing. We may not, you know, all eat the same way, and we may not live in the same part of the country, but isn't it a lot of fun to know that we're going to be here for a long time. We're all going to be healthy and sharing this with other people, and we're going to create our own little culture of people that just, you know, avoid getting the diseases of aging. I love it. I love it. And so with that, I'm gonna close the end of the call. Andrea, thanks for sharing your story and telling us how young you're getting, and share it as you go out to California. Share it with everybody out there, and for everybody that shared their story tonight, I sure appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and I'll get this up on the Sisel World Team channel so you can share it with everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Kurt.
Yes.
You forgot about me.
Who do we got?
Keith Wilkins from down in Australia.
Oh, Keith, I called on you earlier and you didn't answer, so I thought you didn't make it.
But you didn't give me the opportunity to hit *6.
All right, well, Keith, let's get you on.
Okay, then. All right. I've been involved in alternative ways to improving one's health after losing 2 partners since 2001 through cancer. And after seeing what they went through, I have no intention of going down the same path. As a result, I've been promoting and taking stem cell nutrition products for the last 5 years. I won't mention any names, but the company I was with is now in liquidation. I have been taking age pill for nearly 6 months, and I doubled the dose for the first 3 months because I'm an impatient person who wants to see results very quickly, and I've now dropped it back to the standard dose since then. After seeing fast results come from taking the age pill, I then added Ripped and Fire and Iced Tea to the mix. First thing that I noticed was an increase in energy, which most people get, but my hearing improved so much that there is no need for a hearing aid. I used to have headphones to wear to watch the TV with because my partner used to complain about having it up too high. One of the main things that has happened is that I'm 5 kgs lighter than this, and this is the first time in 35 years that I've been under 100 kgs. And I'm continuing to reduce my weight by about 0.3 of a kilo a week,
and they've just added Sisel lean to my program. I can now do 60 push-ups on the floor with 3 repetitions of 20. 6 months ago, I couldn't do 1. I have uninterrupted sleep night after night, no visits to the toilet. Skin is much smoother, and I have improved strength in all departments. Aches and pains are a thing of the past, and I have suffered from gout since 1989, but have not had any repetitions or any other thing to do with that problem for the last couple of years anyway. I wake up every day with the energy to want to do things, and last but not least, increase in memory. I can now remember my credit card number, expiry date and PIN numbers without having to get the card out. And I'm born in 1949 and turn 70 next year. And what I did notice on this call today is that the people who are in their 70s, their voice sounds like they're people in their younger years, and which is magic. Anyway, Tom Mao's doing a magical job with all these products, and I just have to thank you once again for allowing us on the call, and that's it for me.
Well, Keith, thanks for stopping me and getting on the call. What an amazing testimonial. So you'll turn 70 later this year, and you're noticing that, or next year, so you're noticing that where you couldn't do a push-up, all of a sudden you're doing push-ups again, you're getting muscle mass, you're losing weight.
Yep. Wow. And so, well, we never had the energy to do these things beforehand. Now it's like you get out of bed in the morning. Previously, if there was an episode of gout coming on, you wouldn't want to put your foot on the floor. And I have a very active partner, and to be hopping along behind her is not a good look. So we need to do something about it. So
there you go.
Yeah,
she was looking at trading you in for a younger model, wasn't she?
Well, that could happen, you know. So the idea
not anymore.
You got to stay on top of it.
There you go. Well, thank you. Thank you again, Keith. And thanks for sharing, and we'll look forward to getting you back on. We do this call every Friday, and we'll get you back on and have you share as you get younger and younger, okay?
Yes, certainly. No problem. Thanks once again. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.
Hello.
One more. Who do we got?
Yeah, this is Fritz Miller, and I just turned 80, and I've been on the age pill for about 2.5 months, doing the double time on it, double dose. And like the last gentleman, my gout symptoms have disappeared, and my weight's been steady, and I have more energy, and my vision's better, and I do feel younger. So it's working for me. And
wow, and you're 80 years old, and you're noticing changes just after taking it for a little over 60 days.
Yes.
Wow. What other products are you taking?
Just taking the AIDS pill. My friend is Margaret Johnson and Levita Elk, and they both have had some fantastic changes. And so they got me onto this, and it's been progressive. I also do exercise about twice a day, and I walk about 10,000 steps a day, and which is kind of new for me. I'm walking more because I have more energy, and I'm also more calmer than I was before. So I think I was doing pretty good before, but I'm doing better now.
That's so fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because so many people think that old age, that they, that as they get older, they got to start feeling older. You're kind of disproving that theory, aren't you?
Yes. The other thing that helps is to look at these testimonials and the videos and the science behind it, because I'm kind of a science guy, and it does make sense about what they're, they found this in mice and all this about the stem cells and the whatever it's called,
glycation. Yeah, the glycation.
Yeah. So it also tells me, cut back on sugar and that. So I'm slowly improving what I eat too. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the main thing. One of the studies that I read, it said if we combine the age pill and the TSX and the resveratrol that's in the Eternity product, the omegas, if we combine that with a low carbohydrate diet, and then we do fasting 2 to 3 times per week, the results are even going to be that much better than what we're noticing right now.
Yeah. I those are things I can add to it. I think the next step is to try the Infinity, the resveratrol, and Margaret Johnson said, and Levita said they're on the
triangle of life.
Try thing. So that's it. That's the next thing.
Well, there you go. Now you start doing that, and next thing you know, you'll be dancing around the 30 and 40-year-olds.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that already. I go to Zumba several times a week, and so I'm dancing with the 30 and 40-year-olds. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, would you agree to get back on the call and share with us again in the future?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks. Let me ask, is there anybody else that wants to get on and share their story before we hang up here? All right. Well, let's call it there. And thanks for jumping on and stopping me before I quit the recording. And everyone, get this out to people. I know it's a lengthy recording, but I'll get it on YouTube here in the next half hour. And if you want to get that out to people. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for sharing your story, and let's just all get younger together. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Yeah.